Good morning, friends. This is your old girl, Melanie Rose, here to share your daily aspects. Today is Tuesday, November 9, 2021. The sun continues on in Scorpio, keeping the spotlight on those our most personal, heartfelt desires and lending power to their manifestation. Scorpio loves a plan, and even better, like a spreadsheet. It is ever so satisfying, after all, when we have checked all the items off our list and we can enjoy that sense of accomplishment and success. The moon begins today in Capricorn and makes ingress into Aquarius this evening. Capricorn's ruling sign is Saturn, so today is really about stewardship of our emotional and domestic resources for positive growth. Add in this waxing crescent energy, and that encourages us to visualize how things will be when all of our needs and desires are met. In this phase, we plan, and in the next phase, we execute. I have created in advance a legend of the symbols we'll be working with today, and I want to go over them very quickly so that we have some idea what kind of energies we may encounter. We have the sun here. The sun relates to our outer life. That's who we are when we step out the door in the civic world, our social world, our work engagements. Our outer life. The sun is who people meet when they meet us. And we have the moon here. The moon represents our inner life. That's who we are on the inside, our relationship with ourselves, our emotions, our intuitions, and also who we are when we're at home, where we are at home, and whom we are at home with. That all falls under the umbrella of inner life, which is represented by the moon. We have Neptune on board today. Neptune equates to the human spirit, or how we are in the flow of spirit with the human collective, or what is our relationship to the human collective. Pluto represents death and rebirth. Those are deep, total changes and also extremes. And Mars represents our initiative, our sense of initiative, our drive to move forward, our passions, our will to act. As for the aspects that we have on board today, we have a sextile, and sextile is a cooperative, positive sort of energy. These planets will be working very well together, and actions made under this aspect might actually generate something positive. Conjunct tends to amplify, and in general that can be a positive thing. Sometimes amplification doesn't bring about the most positive results, but what's going to happen here is if the moon and Pluto are in relationship to one another, then the effects of both planets are going to be amplified in our lives. And then this little arrow that you see is an ingress. This simply reflects the transit or the movement of a planetary object from one sign to the next. And normally I don't talk much about the signs that I have on the board, but I'm going to go ahead and just put them up here. We are dealing primarily today with Scorpio, Capricorn, and Aquarius. So if that helps you at all with your intuitively getting into the day's flow, I hope that it does. I have divided our aspects into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon sheds light on our nights. It creates relatively brief aspects that mostly apply to ambient energies that may or may not have much impact on our moods, feelings, and intuitions in the privacy of our hearts and homes. The sun, on the other hand, shines light on our days. I address the rest of the planets on this side because these aspects take longer and they have more of an impact on our actions and interactions out in the world. We'll start with the moon today. My aim is to give brief descriptions of the energy of each aspect and hopefully tie them together to get a snapshot of the day in moony moods. So let's see how that works out. Today at 5:01 a.m., the moon went sextile with Neptune. This aspect indicates a heightened sensitivity, emotional and intuitive, to those around us and to ambient energies in general. Sextile is positive, so this should be a pleasant and perhaps productive experience. This is a 2-hour aspect. Sensitivity up. VITY. And then at 11:51 a.m., a void, of course, moon, makes conjunct with Pluto. Conjunct is generally positive. As I said, in this case, it can have an overwhelming effect where we might have some deep wound activated or simply find ourselves deep in our emotions. If you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, please reach out and talk to someone. This is a 2-hour aspect. Deep feelings, possible overwhelm. Reach out to someone if you're struggling. And then at 9:03 this evening, the moon makes ingress to Aquarius. So here's a quote from the wee moon. Moon in Aquarius calls us to the circle and away from private concerns. It reminds us of the sacredness of collaboration and collectivity. It's time to search for new allies, to network, and to live our philosophy. This is a 2.5-day transit. I'm going to say collaboration. I'm going to say live your philosophy. So today's lunar energy signature overall, I would say, is one of emotional and intuitive sensitivity. We feel our way along to a more open connection to the life collective. As for the sun column, I am keeping Mars and Scorpio up here in the ongoing corner, just as a reminder that the sun in Scorpio's already powerful undercurrent is being aided these days by Mars' more direct and assertive influence. Otherwise, today, we have no personal planetary aspects, which is to say, our influences are relatively simple. Especially during these hours where the moon is void, of course, I encourage you to take some time for connecting with spirit and or engaging in some self-reflection. This is a good time to get intuitive. Use your intuitive tools. Ground and connect. Coming up on Thursday, we will have a waxing first quarter moon in Aquarius, which encourages us to take action, but with an eye toward changing up stale patterns and approaches. And we'll talk about these things and more in upcoming episodes. That's it for today, friends. This has been your Daily Aspects, an astrological weather forecast for Tuesday, November 9, 2021. If you haven't already, please like my video and subscribe to the Old Girl channel. I will leave this up here for about 30 seconds so that you may have time to peruse it. Thank you so much for being here with me today. My name is Melanie Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Daily Aspects.